Good stuff, good stuff. Use the system map in the center to go places. Connect me to the vessel's main channel. I wish to bolster the morale of my crew. It is done. Gained 44 experience. You address the crew with a rousing speech and hear your voice roll through the ship. Reaching even the normally quiet corners of the vessel. When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. Remind me of who you are. She is the Voxmaster. What are your duties? Exactly what she just said when we were in the meeting. Okay. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? I have no information that would be interesting. Why do you look so strange? Well, that's a nice thing to say. Yeah. Okay. My appearance comes from my heritage, generation after generation of people who spent their entire lives in the depths of this void ship. Neither we nor our ancestors have ever left our home, but the same can be said about many denizens of the Imperium's million worlds. We are used to the silence of the cosmos and the voices of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far from the Lord Captain's upper decks and remain unseen. We are the Voidborn. Creepy. Where does Voidborn come from? Because we're born in the void between stars. That makes a lot of sense. Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn. To us, the groans, creaks, and murmurs of the ship sound the way babbling brooks and singing birds do to world dwellers. We hear the ship breathe. We know what it is feeling and thinking. We are part of the ship just as it is a part of us. We perform numerous functions, and there are many officers among our number. Some maintain order and prevent mutiny. Others serve as shepherds and support the crew, and some devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessel. Okay. For 300 years, the main branch of the Ptolemon dynasty has produced the ship's Voxmasters, and most of our subordinates come from the cadet houses of the dynasty. How do you find life on the ship? Life has been quite generous to me, Lord Captain. I'm the Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. By virtue of my skills and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Our family claims a spacious section for its demesne. I also enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to the sounds of activity, falling asleep and waking up to the chanting of hymns, and admiring the stars beyond, of course. How do others on the ship treat you? We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten these people, just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be the bringers of ill fortune, but alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for terrible warp phenomenon during longer voyages. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larders with our flesh. I would have been killed during the mutiny had Adara Tlas not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrels' fear of her was even greater than their fears of the Voidborn. Wow. The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially when the captain's entourage, but you see many consider Adira to be different. I am different too. We have spent plenty of time in each other's company discussing regicide over a glass of Amasec. A human tabletop game played across the Imperium of Man. Oh, I was going to say, regicide means king killing. Okay. Nice. Adira changed after one incident, and we started to drift apart. The death of the Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Adira considers me her friend now, but we used to be very, very close. It is good I can still look after her in my own way. Interpreting the Voxmaster's emotions based on half a face and Vox-modulated voice is no easy task, but you managed to catch the undercurrent in Vigdis's words. The Voxmaster is not merely saddened by her rift with Adira, she is devastated by it. Oh. Have you ever left the ship? I did once, and it was dreadful. It felt like the massive blue dome overhead could shatter at any moment and fall, and my bones would be crushed by the gravity. The ship is my home, Lord Captain. I would not trade it even for the bounty of 100 worlds. Nice. Alright. Hey, report. Remind me who you are. I stand at the wheel of this here tub. I mean, your vessel. You control the ship in real space? I wish that was my only job. My part's small enough I just monitor our systems, follow the chanted route, and kick up a fuss when new orders come from the navigator's sanctum. Real space, that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, hard radiation, that kind of shit shows up everywhere. Who are these idiots you're in charge of? There are too many to list them all. I'd have every last one of them flogged. They all need a wake-up call. This guy is awesome. Okay. You a Voidborn? Yep. Born into a helmsman clan in the bow of a Chartist vessel. Studied the family trade until I was 15, and my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by Lowerhold scum. They spared the young'uns. Of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I was having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me. So I escaped into the crawlaways, and I spent months picking them off, one after the other. Got me talking up a storm. Anyway, yes, I'm a Voidborn. Well, okay. Finish your story, bro. Not much to tell. I gutted everyone I could get to, and then I flew upward to the middle decks. That's where the auger operators took me under their wings. But upward. They'd have apprentice helmsmen of their own up there, you see. Nobody asked me any questions, so I stayed. I grew up, trained, got smarter. Then I ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Dan Rock spotted me and lured me away, the cheeky blighter. I can see you're not a gregarious sort. Have I done something to displease you? On the contrary, you're the first person on the bridge who's not tripping over themselves to lick my boots. The helmsman's perpetually twisted mouth twitches as if he's trying to smile. It looks sinister rather than friendly. Oh my lord. Oh yeah, well I'm pleasantly surprised myself that you're having me flogged for insubordination. Will the wonders never cease? Connecting wires. Once they go to the control panel, I become one with the ship. Except the bloody cogs messed up the wires, stimulus injectors, and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and a splitting headache. So you'll forgive me if I'm not all smiles. The man can never sleep? Oh, that sucks. Wow. They screwed up his implants and he can never sleep. Jeez. Good for nothing wasters out what they are, each and every one. Take Janus Stanrock, that highborn weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes would get him burned alive. He drags other people into his schemes and they can take the fall for him too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from footfall for him, got caught by the seneschal and ended up in the void hatch. Stanrock couldn't care less. The Voxmaster, another Tolman like the last one, Void Restum, is no better. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up her post, said the Vox systems were damaged and the Engineerium had no contact with other modules. But how am I supposed to steer the ship? Like the COGS reports with the power of my mind? This guy hates everyone. Oh, man. Then there's that woman. What's her name? To last? Lady Theodora brought her along whenever she went. And look what happened to her. Whew. Wouldn't be surprised if it turns out it was that witch who delivered her to an early grave. Tell me, do you like anyone at all? What kind of question is that? I like you, Lady Theodora before you. Where would I be if I was making cracks about the rogue trader? I don't want to die just yet. Wow. What a dude. What a dude. All right, give me one sec, chat. Uno momento. All right. Let's go. So we got everything up here. Oh, Argenta.
Rogue trader.
Voice acting! You said you have a personal request for me?
I indeed have a request, Rogue trader.
Okay. Continue. I am so angry. The accursed servants of chaos who assaulted the ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officer who defended their post until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valencia's territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans. I will meet with them, no formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives for the Von Valencius dynasty. My consideration is the least that they deserve. Oh. Whoa. Motley group of adolescents do not take their eyes off you.
Applause, please.
Gazing at you as if you were a creature straight out of a fairy tale. Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. There's hardly the Scala progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. Brave ones, the master of the ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe, the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader, House von Valancius. Grandly address. I, the rogue trader and Lord Captain of this ship, speak to you now. Your parents gave their lives for a just cause and brought honor to the von Valancius banners and those of the Imperium. I am proud of them, and I believe you will become their worthy heirs. Teenagers hang on your every word with bated breath. Only a few at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed by your speech. One of the... You good? Oh, they're crying. I see what it is. Oh, man. Is this a game or a book? A little of both. A little of both. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents are dead in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches." Argentina quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flashes in her dark eyes, like she wants to both calm him and scold him for his impudence. If you have anything to say them without fear. I will listen. It doesn't matter what we say. It won't bring our parents back, and it won't change our fates either. We'll keep slaving away on the ship until we drop and die like our folks or worse. Wow, dude, this is some serious stuff. I understand your grief and dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through, but they gave their lives for the truth, for the good of the whole ship, for the Imperium. Do not speak of their honorable fate with anger and disdain. When the heretics who killed your parents attacked the ship, I was there. I took command, I fought, and I repelled the assault as quickly as I could, but no war can be won without losses. You can only strive to do what's within your power. I like the first one. You heard the rogue trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly. Then he catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Abelard gives a sign. A servant immediately emerges carrying a package of treats with von Valancius emblazoned on the wrappers. Nice. They're just throwing treats out to them. Have some chocolates, rabble! I wonder how that went. I feel like we did okay. I don't know, man. That was, that was a thing. What's a cat? Okay. Can we talk to her about that? Where's Abelard? Oh, she's not here. Oh, there she is.
Greetings.
Tell me about the Adeptus Sororitas.
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, rogue trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
They say that you're the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is it true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Are all the sisters truly as faultless as you say?
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her, for nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness. Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
Wow. Berserker, yeah, this is a CRPG by Owlcat. It's Warhammer 40k. We've been playing it now for about 6 hours. It's been amazing so far. If it's something that interests you, I definitely recommend checking out the YouTube videos as soon as they're up on YouTube, because this is a big game. And honestly, it feels like we've barely started it. It's just been fantastic so far. It's been great. Yeah, it's been 6 hours already. I know it's been nuts, but yeah, it's a super cool, very deep, lore heavy CRPG. Yep. What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the CohhCarnage branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Orders Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
The Order Pronastius is not one of the Order militants, and yet you're a trained fighter.
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant trains sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless. Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the enlightened Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge.
Well, she seems pretty rude.
And my order has all the more reason to be known for
amazing.
the
I'm
martial
a person.
prowess
Yeah,
of its
not you.
sisters.
Love you,
We
girl.
are the
Bye-bye.
keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it?
You said you belong to the CohhCarnage branch of your order. What brought you to the Cronus Expanse?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Parson Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
Okay. Are there any other members of the Adeptus Sororitas in the Cronus Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many. and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
So I need to figure out what I need to do as a streamer to get people to say a little thing after any time they mention my name. So, like, you know, anytime someone would be like, yeah, you know, have you ever seen the streamer CohhCarnage? May his streams be girthy and fruitful. Like, I wonder if there's some way we could make that happen. And like, anytime someone says my name, they say that afterward. We'll have to see. Hello? Oh, hi. Is that you? Okay. All right, no more questions. Tell me about
Should
yourself.
any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness. About me. I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
How did you end up here?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the pirate attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that
You stopped short.
I made a mistake.
Oh.
In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, while her crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I'd barely recovered from my wounds when the pirates struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
Yeah, archenemy is the chaos one. What happened to the people who wounded you?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more, and it's bound to happen someday.
You mentioned making a mistake.
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
Where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
We could go to that planet and deal with the Chaos Worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valanci's protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
What was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the Medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself.
Are you gonna try to marry the crazy space nun? Oh, absolutely. We can fix her, chat. I know she's married to the Emperor, but it's cool. We can fix her. We can fix her.
During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistics systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship.
This is when Owlcat goes in chat just being like, we just wanted to state for the record that you cannot fix her. There is no fixing of the crazy space nun. Yeah, just making that super clear. There is no fixing that. No.
But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the pirates. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright. As you wish.
I will say, having all of this voice acted is actually fantastic. I mean, it's one thing to not have voice acting when you're kind of like dealing with minor characters, but at least focusing the voice acting on your companions gives you such a better, more immersive feel with them as people. So if there is not going to be full voice acting, I think prioritizing the characters having, the companions, I should say, having full voice acting, like, that's where you want it. If you're not going to fully voice act your game, like, this is arguably the most important place to have it. So yeah, this is cool. What is it keeping you in my retinue?
This ship was targeted by heretical pirates, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary. But for now, I wish to remain a part of the Rogue Trader's crew.
Okay. I enjoy your company, Argenta. I hope that you remain in the crew and that this ship becomes your home.
Those are very courteous words, Rogue Trader. Thank you, both for your words and your hospitality.
Until next time. Let's take a look here. So I think I want to put this on our tank. I think I want to put this on our tank. These I think we should probably give to our tank as well. Yep. Cool. Okay, looking good. All right. Great. Where is my boy Abelar? There he is. I hope he's fully voice acted too. If Abelard is fully voice acted, that bodes very well, because that means that probably all companions are voice acted, and I am 100% behind that.
Lord Captain.
Yeah! Let's talk about things that may be useful to me as a rogue trader.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain.
Love it!
I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Outline the situation in the Coronis Expanse for me. What do I need to know and keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels.
Okay, continue.
Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
Damn. Who are the main players I need to be aware about?
In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness.
Inured.
Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Kalagos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them.
Okay. Cool. I like her name. So we have Kalagos Winterscale, the icy guy, and then Incendria Bastalcorda, the fire dude. Okay.
If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.